So friends, today in this video I'm going to tell you how to model a character in Blender. So if you want to make 3D animation videos or a game or want to model a character for a game, then you must know how to model a character, and Blender is one of the best software for creating 3D animation and characters. So this is the interface of Blender, and you must be aware before using it. So there are some mode here. So object mode, edit mode, and sculpt mode. These are the three modes which is very important uh, before understanding or modeling any character. So first of all, in object mode, there are very less features. First of all, this is for selecting box or selecting an object, and this is for cursor. Suppose I want to set cursor here, or we can set cursor here as well. So this is basically used to set the origin, and this is for moving out an object. This is for, so you can drag it little bit wider, or you can make it wider so you can see the name of the features. Or so this is for rotation, this is for scaling, and this is for transformation. This is for annotation. If you want to make any annotation here, so you can use this feature. And this is for measuring, and this is for adding cube or any object. So if you want to add any other object, you can do as well. So right now, in editing, we are going to use, so there are very much features. So guys, when we start, when you watch this video, and at the end of the video, you must be aware of all the features or all user interface of Blender. So let's start the video. First of all, so to start with modeling any character's face. So today in this part, I'm going to model a character face in this video. So first of all, guys, what we have to do is, we have to change, or we have to convert this cube into sphere. So how can we do that? So there is one feature as well, which is modifier. So you have to go to this modifier. So this is a modifier icon. This is like a screwdriver, or nut tighter, or what can we say, screwdriver. I think it is called bolt bolt tighter. I think, I don't know what to say. So you have to click on this and just click on subdivision. Now you have to increase the level of this to increase the surface of number of surface on the sphere. So as you can see, if we change it to 3, it will create more surfaces. So right now 2 is enough. So now we have made our sphere. So first of all, what you have to do, you have to disable this optimal. And what is that optimal display? So you have to disable this. And now you have to go to this show overlays and click on this and enable the wireframe. So it is easy to manipulate this sphere. So now we need two sphere here. So one is for the upper side of the face, and another is for the lower side of the face. So let's do that. To create another sphere, you just have to press Shift D. So it will create a duplicate of this. First of all, we have to select this and just press Shift D. Fine, and now you can see. So we have another sphere here. So what we have to do is, we just need to pull it down, and we can move it down by pressing G and Z. So right now it is not duplicated. We have to press Shift D again, and G and Z. Fine, and we can keep it here. Now we have to make it little wider, upper side. So before making any face of the character, you should know the basics. So face usually look like this and this, something like this. So this is our upper side, and this is our lower side. So we have to make it little wider, this one. So how can we do that? So we have to scale it along z axis, oh sorry, x-axis, as you can see. So let's do that. Just you have to press S. So S is for scaling, Z is for moving, and R is for rotating. So just press S, and we have to scale it along x-axis. Just press X after that. So you can see it will scale along x-axis. Now you can move it little backward. So you just have to press G and press X to move along x-axis. Now as you can see, now it is bit look like a face shape. Fine. Now we have created like this is our upper side and this is our lower side. Okay. So let's move it to, so once you reach this step and once you reach this point, now you have to apply the modifier of for each of the object. So first of all we have to apply for this, and now we have to apply for this as well. So again we have to apply for this sphere as well. Now we have to join both sphere. So just select both, shift, press shift or hold the shift and select the other one, and just press Ctrl J. So it will make it as one cube or one object. Now we have to go to sculpt mode, and now what we have to do is to uh, just go down here, go right here, and just enable this topology. So what does topology do is, first of all, let me introduce to by these brushes. So these are the brushes we are going to use to sculpt the object. So first of all, we are going to use the brush is G. So G is basically is used to give the shape of the object. So right now I have just enabled the topology. Topology. What does the topology do? Uh, if I changing the shape of this vertex, so it won't affect the other vertices. So if I just disable it, it will affect all the shape, all the vertex, and so it is very good practice to enable the topology before doing sculpting. Fine. So now what we have to do, I have to increase the radius of the brush. So to increase the radius, just press F and drag the mouse. Now I can use the grab brush to change the shape of these two spheres. Fine. So first of all, I want to do something. First of all, I want to enable the mirror. So if I enable the mirror along x-axis, so if I do any change on right, so it will make the change on the left side as well. Fine. So it is good practice, or it will make the make our sub or face of the character a little bit, sorry, basically symmetric. So both side will be same. So let me first, yeah. So let's do that. First of all, let's make it like a face. Fine. So you can use here and just use the vertex and give the shape as as per the demand of your character. So you can design the character of your imagination so very much. And now we can just put these two, you can make it little outsider for the nose and little bit Now we can reduce the radius if we want to make more in more detail. So fine, now you can see it gives more. Now I'm going to do one thing here. First is, so if you want to create a nose from these symmetry, you can use another rectangle or another cube to create a nose, but I'm going to use this shape itself to create a nose. So usually many YouTuber or many tutorials shows that you can use the you can use the you can use the cube for creating a nose, but I'm going to use, this is my idea, totally my idea. So you can do one thing here, and just let me, now you can just have to little bit closer here, and fine. So what I'm going to do right now is, you must be thinking what I'm doing right now, so you just wait and watch and see what I'm going to do. I'm going to extrude these two face of the object, and let's see what does it do. So just go to the edit mode and just select the face, and now select the face, both face for the nose. Hold the shift and use and just press E to extrude uh, for the nose. So just press E and you can see, but this part should be closer to the surface. So what we have to do, we have to go back to our sculpt mode, and we have to use drag grab. So just press this one and fine. Now this is cooler. This is much cool. Fine. Now as you can see, this is much better. Now this is fine. Fine. Now guys, this is, we are done with the nose, and now we are going to sculpt it more in more detail. So today, basically in this video, in this part, we are going to talk about only face. So in later part, we'll go with the neck and the lower part of the body. So just now we are going to sculpt it. So just click on remesh. Fine, just go to remesh, or we can also add the ears right now. So to add ears, you can go to object mode and fine, and press G and press Z. So now this is on the upper side. So now this is bit upward. We can make it to the ground level as well, G and Z. Now this is better. So press G or select A, sorry, Shift plus A, and let me set the cursor first here. Fine, and now just press Shift A, Shift, sorry, Shift A, and just insert plane here. Open the plane and rotate this plane along which axis? Y axis. So we have to change. We have to rotate along y axis by 90 a degree. So sorry, it must be along. It must be along. I think x axis. Just press 90. Fine. And now we have to rotate along z axis by 45. Fine. Now this is cool. Now just scale it down and just move it and position it to the ear. So just move it, and where it is, little backward. Now this is a little bit, G and Y. G, G and Y. G. Fine. Now this is our ear, but it looks like not ear at all. So first of all, what we have to do here, press G and Y. Fine. And now we have to use modifier here again, and just press add modifier and go to, I should just change it to subdivision and increase the level here. Just disable the optimal display, and now as you can see, just change it to a little bit, yeah, now it is fine. So guys, because I want 2 ears and it should be opposite side, on the opposite side, so I have to use another modifier, which is mirror modifier. So just add mirror modifier, and it must be along y-axis. So fine. So since the middle point is at the ear, so first of all, before adding mirror point, or if you have added the mirror modifier, so you have to press Control A and press just click on the all transform, and now you can mirror along x-axis. As you can see, the both side on the both side the mirror has been, oh sorry, the ears has been added. Now we are going to make it little wider, or we are going to increase the thickness because it is like a page, very thin. So we have to use another modifier, and that is solidify. So it is used to increase the width of anything that we have added here. So let me zoom it and just increase the thickness. As you can see, you can increase as per your demand. Fine. Now we are going to use our sculpt to give shape to the ears. Right now it won't work because we have already so much modifier activated. So just apply this and see. Now it can work. Let me, so bug guys, before doing this, or let me see, yeah, it is changing. So you can give the shape according to yourself. So I can increase the radius. I just forget it about the radius, literally. So you can make the ears wider, or so now guys, what you can do here, you can disable this one to give shape more in detail. Fine. Yeah, I think we're almost done with this. Now we can enable this one. Fine, so it won't affect the back side of the ear. So, and when we sculpt it, we can cover up this later. So now almost we are done with this, and now we are going to join all these things together. Apply this, and just join all of these things. Just press, just select all these objects one by one, and just shift, and just press Ctrl G. Fine. So we have joined this. Now we can go back to the sculpt mode, and now we are going to remesh it in more detail. So if you want to create more surfaces and more vertices to give more dimension to manipulate this, so we are going to use, uh, if I remesh it on this size, voxel size 0.1, let me so it will not, it will basically spoil the my all modeling. So what can we do here is we just have to go back, just press Control Z, sorry, and just remesh it, and just change the size and decrease the size of the vocal to 0.08. Fine, and just disable these ones and just remesh it. So now what you have to do, you have to just disable or this wireframe from this here, and now we are going to use our grab function here. So this is our grab function, and now we can, so if you want to smooth this surface, we can use smooth uh, brush, and just smooth it. Fine. or we can decrease the strength of the smooth surface, or we can press shift S as well. Because but uh, just think like, don't spoil the shape or for spoil. We can use the scrap things as well to flatten anything that we want to flatten. We can increase the size. I just spoil the ear. So just let me give it again. We can flatten this. Fine. So we are almost done with the shaping of our face, and its back side is a little cider. Let me give shape. We can use the graph to make it a little wider. Now friends, we have to use a scrap brush here as well, so this lower part is not yet good enough. So let me just, so it should not, it is not cool at all. Just give the shape. Yeah, and we can just, yeah, now it's looking much better. And go back to fine. So this is much model face, or we can widen the face as well if you want. But now I think my character demands fulfill by this, or I can widen the face a little bit. Fine. And now I'm going to use clay straps to increase the volume here. And just flatten this part. Fine. If we can, if we, or we can use the smooth one. Fine. Again, I can use the clay strips. Fine for the mouth. And just use the smooth and just smooth it. Fine. And now you can use the draw sharp and draw the sharp line between where you want to create the mouth. And now you can press Control to reverse it. So just press Control, hold the Control button, and just, yeah. So it will basically, so it is not cool at all. Let me do it again. Just press now, and let me flatten this, or I have to use this scrap thing here to scrap it a little further. Or I can use the draw sharp, make it a little sharper. It is much look like a Obama, so I just made the Obama. Fine. And you can use the grab face, grab brush to increase the, fine. Now as you can see, it is looking much. So I can use right now flatten here to flatten this part. It is not looking much cooler. So now I can create nose here. So just use the draw, or you can use the clay strip and sorry press shift, I think shift or control. Let me find. So it will reverse the effect of clay strip. Fine. Now, or you can make or you can use the draw sharp to make it uh, more deep hole. Fine. So I think the clay strips is enough. So now guys, I'm going to create our eyes, or I think we are not done with the ear still. So let me use the grab and let me increase the width of our ear and draw the sharp line to mark our ear. Fine. So let me use the so I think let me keep it fine. I have to flatten this part, or I can use a flattened brush here. Or let me keep the ear backward. Fine. And I think I can use the sharp brush to fine and something like this. Or so before the guys using the draw sharp, if I draw this, so it will affect the back side as well. So what you have to do is you just have to go to this brush and you have to go to custom property, I think. No. So you just have to go to this option, and you can see that this is our brush. Go to this advanced option and just enable this one. Fine. So it will, what does it do basically? If I draw, let me undo this, and if I draw again, fine. If I draw again, it won't affect the back. So that is the advantage of doing this. So now, so if you want to widen the ear, so you can use the inflate function, or inflate brush, and just use it here to make our ear wider. Fine. And now we can just press Control to pull it down some part of the ear as well, like this. Or you can increase the size and press Control. Fine. So it is not. So now we can use the dark dark sorry, draw sharp, and or we can decrease the size of the rebrush and undo, and we can just find this is our ear. And I think I just undo the thickness of the ear. Fine. Now guys, now we are going to create eyes of our character. So we have to use clay strip and just press Control to make a cavity. Fine, let me see the depth. And now you can smooth it. You can use a smooth brush. Fine. And so, yeah, creating eyes is very simple. You just have to use, or I think the lips is not perfect yet. It's not giving me satisfaction. So I can use the grab, just increase the size a little bit, and or I can find now the things. Or I can use the inflate method to increase the width. So it is actually creating like a lips. Fine. So it is looking much better. So the before it was very thin lips. So you can use this inflate method to increase the lips, and now we are going to create eyes for our character. So just use cursor here, just set it here, press Shift A, use UV sphere and rotate it along Z axis 90. No, it is not cool. So I think let me reset to 0 and just rotate it as 90, along 90, along axis 9. Just rotate 90 degree along axis and scale it and fit it here. Fine. Yeah. So now we have to use modify here and just you have to use mirror modifier here to create another eyes. And since guys we have to use object as well, so just choose object and you can see the eyes has been created. Now what we have to do is now we're going to create eyelids. So how can we? So just press shift D and let me undo. Shift D, shift D, scale it, scale it. Fine. And now what we have to do, we have to disable all, or we can isolate everything by pressing slash. So it will isolate everything except the eyelids, so that we have created for the spheres, that is for the eyelids. So now just enable the wireframe and go to this mode, and what we have to do is go to edit mode. Fine. And choose edges and select the half of the sphere. Select the half of the sphere, so it should be selected from the back side as well. Now we are going to split this, so just press Y to split, Y to split, again Y to split, and as you can see it has been split. Fine. So it has been split. So now guys we have to press slash again to reverse the isolate. So let me do it again. First of all, just reselect it and press Y to split, and we can confirm. Sorry, so it didn't select all the part. Let me go back and see it didn't select. So let me select from the back side as well, and now we have to select, hold the shift to select again, and now it didn't select this part. So just hold the shift and hold shift. I think I have to do it manually because it just so sorry. I have to do it again. So now let's select the half the part of it. What the hell is this? Now let me go back and see. Yeah, it is now selected. Just press Y to split and G to check. And now just press slash to reverse the isolate. Fine. So let me go back. Yeah, as you can see, and just go back to the solid mode, and you can just remove this one. Fine. And guys, what you have to do is just press, we have to rotate this one, so just press R and rotate it along x-axis. Fine, like this. And just select the upper one as well and rotate it along x-axis again. Now you can see, or you can move the down one. Fine. Now we can move it little backward, so press G and Y. Fine. And we can use, or we can scale it a bit as well. It is bit larger, and we can select the upper one as well similarly and just scale it and rotate it a little bit again. Just rotate along x-axis. Fine. And just use this one. Now this is much better, or we can use this. Now since the eyelid is not thin as much, so we have to use another modifier is solidifier. So it will increase the thickness. So just go down and increase the thickness, as you can see. So now this is much better. Now we have treated our eyes as well, and let me flatten this one as this part. So go back to the sculpt mode, go back to our cube, go back to sculpt mode, and just flatten the just we have to use scrub. Fine. So this is a very good tool to give shape. Now we can flatten this part as well. can inflate this one. Fine. Now, guys, we are going to uh, let me flatten this one as well. So let's create a eyebrow. We are forget. I just forget to use or make eyebrow. So first of all, to create eyebrow, we have to go back to our sculpt mode. Oh, sorry, object mode, and set the cursor here. Fine, or you can use the cursor anywhere. I just press Shift A and add plane. Fine. And where is the plane? Actually, yeah, this side. So just press M or Alt M, or you can press right click. There is an option, so the option is not coming actually. I have to, I have to actually right click on it, and so we have to go back, go to edit mode and choose the vertex, and just select the plane that we are actually, yeah. Once you're done, now just press alt m, no, not alt m, or you can press m, just press m to merge all the vertex at center. Just press m and at center. So it will actually merge all the vertex at one point, which is this, at this vertex. Now enable the this magnet option. Go to here and select the face and select the back face ceiling, or I think so. Now guys, we are going to use uh, this vertex. Where is that? So we have to use this. Or this is our plane that we have merged. So if we enable this one and just check this option and just enable this and check this project indivisible items. Now you can extrude. So this one. So when we So I think let me do it again. Let me delete the plane. So I think there is some confusion here. Just delete one. Now let me add the plane again. So just shift A and plane. So it will add plane at the top because the cursor is up. Now go to edit mode and use go to a vertex and just press M and press just click on center and go to this option, and now this is fine. So now guys we can move this one wherever we want. So it must be on the surface. Fine. So since we are going to draw our eyebrows, so just have to extrude. So let me move it again and little bit here and just extrude this, and now just select vertex here and just extrude vertex here again, 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 again. Sorry, let me undo. Again, again, again. Yeah. So this is our plane. Let's mirror it. So we can add the modifier here. Go and use modifier here. So it must be along y-axis, or we need to select the object first. Choose the cube and should be, or we can select here. So it is somewhere inside it. So before adding guys mirror, we can increase the width of this. So how can we do that? Just choose the add modifier and go to solidify and just increase the width as much as possible if you want. Fine. So I think width is this width is much enough, and now you can. So now you can add the mirror modifier and see. So the mirror modifier is actually is along. Let me choose the. Now this is fine. Now this is our. I think. I think. I think this should be much. I think the eyebrow should be wider, so it's it is good for the women's, but not for the men's. So can we make it wider, or I can choose a, yeah, I can go and this way. So I just tried to made scale it along the axis, scale it along the axis. It won't do anything. Scale it along x axis. Can't do anything along the axis. Along the. I think I should try it again. Fine. Yeah, I can try now. Or I can go straighter a little bit. So extrude and rotate this. Fine. Yeah, this is much better. Extrude and extrude, rotate this and extrude. Now this is much better. Fine. And now I'm going to extrude this. First of all, let me increase the thickness. Fine. It's much better. And now I'm going to add mirror modifier. So just let me add the, yeah, I think this is much better compared to before. Or we can scale it. We can scale it. Fine. We can scale it along the axis. Yeah. And go Z. We can just apply this and you can use the drag. Fine. Yeah. I think we're done with the, we are done with eyebrows. Fine. Let's add hair now. So to add hair, we are going to add sphere. So what kind of a sphere we can add here? So to add here, we can insert. You just have to press Shift A and use UV sphere. Fine. Let me let me uh, fix it somewhere here and put it down. G and Z. I think due to this, it is not being able to. So guys, I forget to turn off the magnet feature, so that's why it is not being able to insert inside. So now let's again add our sphere. Just press Shift A and UV sphere and just scale it down and position it over the head G and Y, or you can just scale it a little bit. Fine. And yeah, it should cover all the things. And let me go to this and G and X, it should be at the center. Fine. So now let's go back to our skull and just use the grab to give the shape, or just increase the size first. Fine. Just first of all, let me I forget to use uh, mirror mode. This will do the perfect. Fine. It will help me to make it a little faster. And yeah. So now, guys, since we have since the here basically used to give the aging of the character. So usually the younger one have the larger volume of the hair, and if we talk about the older one, they have uh, less volume. So you can you can manipulate the hair according to the age of the character. So yeah, so now we are going to remesh it to give more. So just give the more polygon to, so I can change it to 0.023 and just remesh it. So we have to remesh it again till we find the nice number of polygons. So, so I think it is not letting me complete my this tutorial.